I want to thank Jonette and her team again for putting together this amazing event and giving us the platform to just empower each other and uplift each other. Let's give her a round of applause. I'm so excited to be standing in front of so much power, so many ambitious goal diggers in this room. How many of us are walking in our purpose? How many of us are still trying to figure it out? Well, that's all right. No matter what season you're in, we're going to talk today about how your purpose will propel you forward. And I'm going to give you 4 key components that you need in order for your purpose to propel you forward. And I like to call this peak, because we know what happens when we're at our peak. That's when we're performing at our highest potential. We're pushing the limits of our potential. So the P in peak, you might want to write this down, stands for principles. Principles. So our principles are our fundamental truths that serve as foundations for systems of beliefs and behaviors. Take that in for a second. I've learned that it is so important for us to have principles, especially when you're on this journey to walking in your purpose. There will be so many opportunities brought your way, so many choices, so many options, and they will seem great. It will seem like a great opportunity. I should take this, I should run with it. But in order to not get drugged on that emotional roller coaster, you need principles to keep you guided and grounded. For example, I live by 3 principles: God, family, and integrity. God. If I don't hear God's voice, that means it's not for me. When it was time for me to leave my full-time job to walk in my purpose and do this full-time, God was telling me to move. I felt my spirit pulling, so I knew it was time to go. I knew that I needed to move on because God said move. Family. Like the woman was talking about order. If my house isn't in order, if things aren't lining up with my family, then it's not for me. Another better opportunity is going to come along. God's going to open up a better door. And integrity. This might be one of the most important things. Just because all business isn't good business. And I'm sure many of us have experienced that. So if it comes along and I can't build on integrity, and I can't run my business on integrity, it's definitely not for me. So I encourage each of you, as you're walking in your purpose, to develop some principles that will keep you grounded, that will help you to find that balance in logic and emotion. Because we need that when we're walking in our purpose to move forward. So that's principle. E, embracing change. How many of us love change? You love change, Karen?
No, you don't.
He loves change too. Change isn't always bad. However, my experiences and the people that I work with in my practice, people fight change. Change can be painful, it's hard, it hurts, it's unpredictable. We don't know what to expect. That's why so many people fight it. A lot of times we think change looks like this as we go through that process. However, change is messy. It's all over the place. We take 3 steps forward and then we're taking 2 steps back. That's a part of the journey. As the woman was talking about, she talked about the process. A lot of times people don't want to stay in the process. We want to control the process. And that's why a lot of times we fight change. One of my favorite quotes is, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because change can be uncomfortable, you know? And I love being uncomfortable. If it were up to me, I would be at home in my onesie, laying on my couch, watching my favorite movies, maybe football because I love the Steelers, and eating my favorite snacks. That's when I'm comfortable. However, I know that the comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. So we have to step outside of our comfort zone as we're walking in our purpose. So embrace change. A, we have the A in P. A is accepting our role as servant leaders. There are a lot of leaders in this room. I see it, I feel it, I know some of you personally. Something that I've learned about servant leadership is that we must be able to serve and lead simultaneously. It's not about being a dictator, telling people to do, manipulating people into doing what you want them to do. It's about how can I help you? How can we work together so that you can reach your goal and figure out your purpose?
Yes.
Are there any social workers or helping professionals in the room? Yeah, there's a couple, I know a couple. In this profession, we are helpers. You got into this profession because you love people and you love to help. And depending on what you're doing in this profession, we know that the compensation is low and the expectations are high. So you've gotten it to serve people in your purpose. But what I've learned is you can't put a price tag on what you get spiritually from helping others in their purpose. When someone says to you, you changed my life, or you saved my life, you saved my marriage, or they're spending their last to buy you a gift because of the impact you had in their life. You cannot put a price tag on that, and that is servant leadership. So accepting our role as servant leaders. And last but certainly not the least, this might be one of my favorite ones. The K is for knowledge of self. One of my favorite quotes that pertain to knowledge of self is, mastery of others is intelligence. Mastery of self is wisdom. Mastery of others is strength. Mastery of self is true power. And something that I learned about knowledge of self is one of the trickiest things for us to comprehend, for us to apply in our lives, because it takes some hard-hitting self-reflection, honesty, and authenticity. And it's an ongoing process. Every day, you are learning more and more about yourself. I talk about knowledge of self in my first book, Vitamin C, Healing for the Mind, Body, and Soul. It's actually a chapter. That's how powerful I think it is. We're talking about who we are, how we influence others, how others influence us, accepting our limitations, and recognizing our strengths. For me, knowledge of self began about 10 years ago when I went through a terrible breakup. However, it may have been it was a blessing in disguise because I got to know me. I got to know who Sharice was, what she liked. I spent time alone. I went to the movies alone. I went to dinner alone. I worked on my relationship with God, with other people. I really got to understand who I was. And it's ongoing. Writing a book allowed me to gain knowledge of self. I'm opening up my life and my experiences to the world. Getting married and leaving a full-time job to pursue what I'm doing now. It's been about 90 days. Knowledge of self, and this book is still being written. So it's an ongoing process. P, principles, embracing change, accepting our role as servant leaders, and knowledge of self. In closing, when we are walking in our purpose, we are not excluded from adversity. Right?
Right.
It means you have connected to a cause that is bigger than you. You have blazed through life's complexities, and you have found the answers to the reason why. Your peak will give you the strength to propel forward in spite of adversity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharice. She could have gone on.